All right, welcome back to Monday Morning Mooks, and the damn NPC walked away while we were trying to establish continuity between the episodes.
Let's see how this trading thing works.
Oh yeah, let's see how trading works. Like I'm kind of like, all right, the combat like practically got me angry. I was so upset by how boring it was, but like now that we're starting to see the extras, I feel like this game is sort of like, it's sort of telling us that the combat is secondary. So I feel like that this game might be a little bit classier than we originally thought.
So is this stuff? I assume, okay, so it looks like, yeah, this is stuff he has.
Yeah. Oh, hey, parts. We still haven't discovered where that where that workbench is, so we don't know what the parts do yet. Trade him the paw off of one of those animals you slaughtered in the first episode.
Oh, that's horrible.
Adorable little personal seal
that you cut off.
That you cleaved from a defenseless animal. Oh god. You know what? All right. You know what? Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't have as much of a problem with real hunting. It doesn't seem as immoral as, like, you know, killing these pixel monsters, because you do it with, there's nothing to gain. You do it just for the sheer malice. Whereas if you are a hunter, you're at least presumably using the animal for food of some sort.
Oh wait, that's why they're using British spelling.
Oh, it's my favorite time of day. So what? I'm guessing that it was just a British studio that did the translations for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, you know, it feels kind of classier than when American studios do it. I don't.
Hello.
Oh, so clearly you got to find some ether cylinders.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There was a guy with an exclamation point over his head. Yellow exclamation points too. They really like the WoW aesthetic seems to be penetrating everything. Like, I recently played a little game called Darksiders 2, which, like, it's weird because it marketed itself as, like, one of those, like, hardcore stylized action games where it was not.
Is the monster called Lake Magdalena?
Defeat Lake Magdalena, or maybe it's an area? I don't know. Like, the names in these things tend to be so silly that I don't know if they're describing an area or... No, it's Lake Magdalena near Outlook Park. So, alright, you gotta kill a lake. Maybe it's Great Lake. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Alright.
But yeah, like I was playing Darksiders 2 because I've mentioned in previous episodes I'm a huge fan of like the highly stylized third-person action games like Devil May Cry 3 and 4. 3 more than 4, but 4 was pretty good too. Ninja Gaiden, Bayonetta, things like that. And they advertised that as being one of those games. And maybe it's my fault for skipping the first Darksiders, but I played it and it really wasn't. And like one, it was kind of easy and kind of boring. And there was really heavy into the platforming, but the platforming was so simple that there was just no feel of like excitement ever. Oh hi. Hi. Oh, okay. So like all the male models are the same, and all the female models are like individual things, and I don't get it, but whatever. All right. But yeah, that game, like if you look at the Darksiders games, especially the second one, like visually it's WoW. Like, everything about the art design and the aesthetic was taken from WoW. And, like, I'm noticing that, like, aspects of that aesthetic are starting to bleed into every game. And, like, you know what? WoW, for as much as I don't like MMOs for the most part, WoW, at least visually, like, you know, it has that, like, you know, the towns, the units, everything in it sort of has that same art style, and it's, you know, it's stylized, it's a little deformed, and it looks kind of cool. But like when everyone starts doing it, I feel like it's going to be a problem. Like the more I see it, the more like I immediately go, oh wow, aesthetic, and I like write it off as something that doesn't look good. Mike is speechless by that.
Oh, and it's daytime again.
And it's daytime.
Well, I mean, that guy did just say that it looks like day and night cycles are artificial and they're caused by these ether particles.
Ah.
So I guess the whole sunrise sunset thing, not a big deal.
Yeah. I guess not. Well, that would explain why time seems to go in like these weird jumpy laps and you never sleep.
Come
Yeah,
on,
like that-
come on.
that's
There's
the-
got to be something back here.
Yeah, like it's I guess like in the building is where the next storyline.
Well, I know, but I was figuring that, you know, there'd be something like wedding ring behind there.
Yeah, like that's one thing that I hate about these games. But not necessarily hate, but like it appeals to my like, you know, obsessive gameplay nature in such a way that it's like, oh, can't advance the game, got to check every door. Dean, again, a normal name. Now, you see, now that's 2 normal names in a row, so now when I see Osgiliorwin, I'm gonna be like, what?
Okay.
I still love that jump. It's like he's an Olympic long jumper who just happens to be...
Oh, no.
Oh, hey, there's that Xenoblade they were talking about.
I think they called it the Monado or something.
The Menudo, yeah.
Dixon.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that there was a sweet Clyde Dixon.
Just now.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
I also like his 80s metal pants.
and 80s metal hair. Dude, that's
He's Axl Rose!
Yeah, dude, that is just Axl Rose. By the way, I just want that vest. Like, I want you to buy me that vest, Mike.
So, you can activate it now then.
Well, anyone can activate it.
Provided you have stupid enough goggles.
Controlling it.
Yeah, for everyone except him.
Yes.
Ricky Martin
If
of
anyone
Monado.
other than Dunban were able to control the Monado, we could surpass any military force in the world.
With a sword. You know what? When they invent guns, these guys are going to be screwed.
Those hidden functions you mentioned.
It's still only conjecture, but it's starting to look like the Monado might be something far more significant than just a weapon for defeating Mechon.
I see.
It's also clearly a can
Evidence
opener.
to support your theory?
It's the symbol that appears in the center when it's activated. What I know is, the central piece is made from multi-layered glass. The symbol appears on the top layer, and each layer is constructed differently.
So it's possible that other symbols could appear on different layers.
Which means you could level this up in later chapters.
Might conceal even more power. Am I right?
If we could just
Or maybe it just has different name
unlock
tags.
the Monado's power.
Dunban! Dunban!
Marines, we are leaving!
Don't look like that. I haven't gone yet.
Don't look like that back of a woman's head that I haven't seen. Oh, hey, She-Hulk. Rosebud! You know you make me smile.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, if it weren't for his blank, expressionless anime face, I might know what to feel here.
It was the Monado. It was controlling.
It was making me flail about.
Even so, it saved us. Saved our future. Next, it will be up to you.
So if that's what he said, why'd you have to whisper it? Alright, you know what, never mind.
Well, I better get the supplies delivered to the defense force.
See, when he says it, it sounds like surprise.
I'll go round the HQ and see how they're getting on.
Okay then. I'll see you later.
Shulk, you're spending too much time in the lab. Either that or rummaging
I
for
love his
junk in
full
the
body
scrapyard.
sigh.
It ain't healthy for a kid your age. That's why you're always looking so pasty. You should get out, get some fresh air once in a while.
Maybe wear a headband.
All right, I'm off.
Why did he wave goodbye to us, the players? I'm still really loving the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, I think, again, I'm not sure if it was previous episodes or this episodes. We're recording a bunch in a row today, so like if I talk about I already said something, you might want to just check back or don't, depending on how you feel about that YouTube viewer.
All right, still alive.
Oh, hey, it's Dunban, and apparently he's got vitiligo?
Dunban, are you awake yet?
Yeah, I'm really, like, you know, these games always have solid soundtracks, so this woman is just at the back of someone's head.
You could have just called me.
Like,
Don't be
Oh,
silly.
no.
oh. Alright, so, who designs clothes in Japan's future?
Like, why do you need sleeves but no shirt?
I'm better than I was a year ago.
Much better.
Oh, maybe it's like all the cut-off sleeveless t-shirts from the fighting games have to go somewhere.
I was well enough to handle that again.
Dunban, don't say that. The Meccan have gone now. Why would you say
Also,
that?
the fact that she's the only one who has any expression in her eyes makes everyone else seem really creepy and weird.
Okay. More
But like,
importantly,
it's not really expression. She's just sort of like blinking more than the others.
Don't
It's
you
like the way
I
Kristen
say
Stewart
it,
acts.
Fiona? Go and make your next delivery.
Huh?
Well, I'm sure you'd like Shulk to try some while it's still hot.
That's okay. Shulk has no sense of taste.
It's a horrible congenital disorder, and I don't know why I speak of it like I'm disgusted by it.
With action.
Maybe.
Oh man, so are you ready for a bland love interest named Fiora? Cause I am. And like, she's really into Dunbar over there, but like,
Dunban.
you know, Dunban ends up either dying or turning evil because the Minato was, the Menudo was controlling him. So like, and then she ends up sort of like settling for our main character, She-Hulk. I said in the first episode, I know everything that's going to happen in this game by virtue of the fact that it's a
Not
JRPG.
finished yet. I have to be prepared to use the Minato again.
I like how McEvilstein was in that battle
Yeah,
photo.
why does he have the loving photo of the guy who did nothing but evil laugh and try to get him killed? Oh, so you got a side quest of delivering food. Like, how come we're not playing as She-Hulk? Alright, if this does that, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 main character change bullpucky, I've cursed like 40 times during this episode. I don't know why I didn't want to curse there, but, you know, I'm a mystery that way. Oh my god, her running and jump. First off, is she going faster or
Yes!
am I having a stroke? She's the fastest one. How come we couldn't be the superpowered woman earlier? Hurry up before it gets cold. And she has different jump sounds. Oh, well, I didn't know I'd be playing as Lady Flash. And now she has to walk very slowly.
Hey, Fiona.
Dixon.
Looks like you're in a hurry. Where are you off to?
Welcome to the jungle, Fiora.
Food. I'm on my way to the lab.
Shulk's not there right now.
Really?
I just sent him out to get some fresh air. You know where he'll have gone.
Outlook Park.
He loves to masturbate in Outlook
Okay.
Park.
Thanks, Dixon.
Like, I don't know, whoever designed the back of her head seems to be like really like, look, I spent a lot of time working on that hairpin. I want it to be featured as prominently as possible in this game. Ugh. Like, she doesn't seem to be running at the speed of light anymore. Am I just like, am I not getting the right feel for this, or is that just like the light speed room that we were in?
Let's see what equipment she has.
Well, I mean, she's got legs, and I think she knows how to use them. So, in this colony, headbands
Parkour
are very
jacket.
popular.
Parkour jacket.
Parkour! Okay, so, like, I don't get it. Like, the model changes with some equipment, but not others.
Oh, I see.
What?
Wait, no, I don't. I thought something
No,
changed.
there's definitely no change. I guess like only some equipment changes cause model changes too. Strike a pose. Yeah, I don't know, like, I guess we're going to have to check on this game's lasting power. I'm not sure if the amount of micromanagement involved is going to seem awesome or terrible.
Yeah, I mean, so far there hasn't been much.
Yeah, I guess, like, I don't know, with, like, the affinity stuff and the side quests, like, either this is going to be an OCD player's dream or it's just going to be really bad, and I don't know how to tell. She seems so belabored when she jumps.
I like how she's more powerful than Shulk.
Well, she runs like an Olympic athlete. It's like, we're dealing with the short blonde version of Usain Bolt here. Odds are she's just physically stronger. Though she's apparently not as good as killing small bunnies.
I see. It's a lot of. It looks like there's a lot of strategy in stacking. I guess status ailments. I don't know what.
We'll call them status ailments, or like I guess in the tradition of this game's namesake, where they're coming up with their own names for everything. Instead of status ailments, we could call them boppity boos. And you could use the bonnet for the caterpillar.
Getting an awful lot of stiff hair.
Yeah. You see how I'm not making a joke about that? I feel I've matured as a human being.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, let's...
Oh, hey, it's a praying caterpillar. Like, I don't know if that's the name of the insect or if it's actually engaged in prayer, because you spend so much time... Oh! Don't mess with a praying caterpillar. It's like... It's the Tim Tebow of caterpillars.
Oh, shh!
Dude, you just got straight up murdered by a praying caterpillar. You know what? You deserve that. That victory doesn't just belong to that caterpillar. That victory belongs to God. How far does it set you back when you die? I'm curious about what the death penalty is.
Oh, you'll just go back to the Lyris landmark, which that, I guess, oh, okay, that's...
Okay. Like, do you have less or more experience? Is there any kind of, like, penalty that you see?
I don't know. I mean, it might have, I don't know.
Huh. Weird. I guess you probably stepped into an area where you're supposed to have both She-Hulk and, Fiora?
Yeah.
I feel like if her name was, again, like, I remember Kenny, and I remember Dean, but I don't remember any of these main characters with the crazy names.
I know we can. One hit kill, or something.
I can't decide if that's charming or if I want to beat the crap out of this fictional character now.
Power smash! Go!
You know what? You know what this aesthetic reminds me of? Like, not necessarily like the way the game looks, like the aesthetics of the world, like the weird mechanical, like the robots that like disappeared but like are threatening to come back, and like some kind of robots, some kind of natural, and the swords that are like part technology, part sword. There was this anime that again was stupid, but I love the music, called Genesis Survivor Gaiarth, or Gaiarth, I'm gonna say, or Gaiarath, something like that.
Yeah, Gaiarth.
Gaiarth, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and like this reminds me of that a lot. Like I feel like it borrowed a lot from that aesthetic. Like the world design feels very similar to that. Like, did your shoes change right there? Am I like?
Well, okay, let's go back. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Let's see. Because like I feel like you're now wearing hooker boots, which clearly provide more protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So okay, superior hooker boots.
I will say though that I think the whole it could definitely this game could definitely benefit from the whole sort of MMO, loot everywhere. As long as, like you mentioned, it doesn't...
As long as it doesn't get too tedious, really, that's just going to be. I think like some of that is just going to be personal preference. Like there are a lot of things about a game that we could talk like semi-objectively about. Like I could even say things like I think in an earlier episode I talked about abnegation, talked about the value of that. Like do not mess with that caterpillar. That is a giant caterpillar. Like in fact, this whole area of caterpiles, I think it's just a little too much for us. Like right at this moment, this is a joint effort now because I'm doing most of the talking. But yeah, like I feel we could talk objectively about stuff like that. Like I could say even if I'm not into a game that has too much abnegation at a given time, like I could still say there's value in that. Yeah, you got to stay in front of its shell. Yeah, like that's how you take on a caterpillar. Yeah, dude, I think these things are just a slightly higher level than you, because like everything that you fought in this little like in this little nook has been kicking your ass. But yeah, I'm starting to. Hooray! I escaped! Hooray! We're escaping. But yeah, like that we could talk about objectively. But as far as whether or not the looting and things like that gets tedious, well, now you know you could swim and not just drown. Like seriously, this woman is a world-class decathlete. Look at the speed in which she swims while wearing hooker boots and sleeves without a shirt.
I hope I'm going the right way.
Look, there are exclamation points that you're heading towards, so I feel like we have to be heading somewhere good.
Yeah, I just hope it's not like I'm not supposed to be up there.
I feel like I could almost guarantee that you're supposed to be on the top of the cliff because you passed an area that was clearly too high level for you and then jumped in the water before 3,000 tutorials on swimming popped up.
Alright, well first off, need to collect these blue orbs.
You need to get the blue orb. What did they even hint at what the blue orbs do?
Oh, you could. It looked like you could trade them.
Oh, okay. Anti-air battery 3. That's my favorite anti-air battery. Okay, so I understand that said sweet wasabi, but I read that as street wasabi, like the kind of wasabi from the mean streets.
Oh, I thought you meant like it was like drugs.
That too. Yo, man, I got myself some black Nepalese, some street wasabi. It's got you weak in the knees. By the way, if I make a reference to lyrics without saying the song and you guys get it, like you YouTube commentators, just, like comment and subscribe and win fabulous prizes. We don't have fabulous prizes. Also, I think this episode might have been going on 20 minutes. So, alright. We might artificially split this episode up into two when we cut this, so if you don't hear my usual, like, next time on Monday Morning Mooks, that's because we did. Even though that would be the last episode that got it, so imagine this message being transported to you in the past. But, yeah, so I think we're going to cut to the next episode right after that, and you will be able to check out Colony 9 and Falling Debris. Next time on Monday Morning Mooks.